So one thing I forgot to mention to you is this funny looking thing. I'm not sure if many of you have seen these before, but it's called a snorkel. And what this does is, rather than having your exhaust coming out of the back of your car down low, the exhaust on this vehicle comes out right up the top here. And it also is where air goes into the engine. The beauty of this is that if you're crossing or fording a creek or a river, it means that the water can come up reasonably high as you're going through, and you're not going to have water going into your engine because the intake is right up here. So these are a really important part of four-wheel drives. Ensures that your car can safely get through reasonably high water. Okay, we're going to move over here now and go and have a look at some of our equipment. So if my trusty cameraman will move around there. As you can see, there's a whole lot of equipment laid out here, and I need you guys to pay close attention because at the end of this we're going to be playing Kim's game and we'll see how much of these things you can remember. Alright, so we'll start off over here. So this here, if you can come in a bit closer please, camera person, is obviously a tyre. Now when you are out four-wheel driving, sometimes your tyre will get a puncture and you may not be able to get to a place to get it fixed. And so you can see here these things where there's been a hole in the tyre, and it has been fixed using this sort of a puncture repair kit. So it's really important when you're going out to have a puncture repair kit so that if you do get a hole in your tyre, you can still fix it and get yourself out of trouble. The second thing to show you over here is it's also really important to have a good toolkit when you go out. You must have a toolkit to make sure that you're able to look after your vehicle while you're out. And I think while I'm generally talking about safety gear, let's just go to the other safety gear that's here. So over here we have gloves. Always important when you're working around a vehicle to make sure that you're looking after yourself. So we always wear gloves, and we also, it's great to wear something that's high vis so that you can be clearly seen by other vehicles. The other thing I've got here is a large first aid kit, which I always take in the vehicle. And I've also got over here a smaller portable one. So this is when I'm out on a day hike or something, I take that one. I've got the larger one in the vehicle. Final piece of probably that sort of gear is the jumper leads, which we have for the car. So we have a flat battery. I can use that to either start my vehicle or help someone else start their vehicle. Okay, so I might finish off doing this mat and then we'll go to that mat. So here you can see we have some cones. We use these when we're running training courses. So this goes to what can you do with Scouts with four-wheel drive. We do run training courses, and for anybody that has got an L plate or above, you can come along and do both our safe and train course and our advanced course. And so we use these to help you to learn how to steer large vehicles. We've got the communications down here, so these are obviously handheld radios which can communicate with each other and with the car. This is used to plug into the winch, which I talked about earlier, to run the winch. And it's always important to have some kind of a mapping capability. So this is obviously a small, what do you call these things?
GPS.
GPS. Thank you. Small GPS. There's a whole lot of GPS capability also in the car. If you come around this way, you can see here this very large thing is called a high lift jack, and this is used to help us to lift a vehicle and get it out of trouble. You might be getting over an obstacle or you've got a flat tyre or something. We also have two other types of jacks that I don't have here today. One's the bottle jack, the normal one that you use in your vehicle, and we have a thing that's also like a big balloon that blows up and lifts your vehicle if you're in sand or mud. So there are three types of jacks. Down here we have a thing which is a manual winch. So there's the electronic winch on the car. This is a manual winch, and that is all part of the manual winch to help you to get a vehicle out of trouble. We've got a chain here which we use if we want to drag maybe trees or obstacles off tracks. We have here a form of a winch rope. So that's used, so that's static, that doesn't have any sort of elasticity to it. Whereas this one is called a snatch strap, and that does have elasticity, and it allows you to sort of slingshot a vehicle to recover it. This is known as a tree protector. It's a nice wide piece of material, put around a tree or a big rock or something, that allows you to set up a recovery point and get yourself out of trouble. These are base plates, so if you're in sand or mud and you want to jack your car up, you can put that down and put your jack on it and jack it, and it'll prevent the jack from going straight down into the sand or mud because it's got a nice big footprint. This is one of those recovery points that I showed you earlier, so it's a different type of recovery point. These are shackles that we use to attach the snatch straps or the various pieces of kit together. And what have I done? I can't see it at the moment. Anyway, so we've got, oh, there it is. So then we have this piece of gear, which we can also use in setting up a recovery point, and so these are all very important parts of recovery gear. Up here we have a strange looking thing. This is called a dampener, and if you do set up any kind of recovery system, we put this over the strap or the chain, whatever we're using, so that if it does fail and it breaks, this pulls it down quickly to the ground, and hopefully nobody gets injured and the vehicle doesn't get damaged. Down here we have something that we use to take air out of a tyre. This is a power air compressor, and we use the air compressor to put air back into the tyre. This is the recovery point that goes on the back of the car that I mentioned, and there's your traditional bull bar. And this strange looking thing, there's two of them, these are called max tracks, and if you're stuck in sand or in mud, you can pop one of these under each tyre, and then hopefully you can easily drive out of the obstacle because the wheels grab hold of this and can get traction, and you can get your car out of trouble. So that's all kinds of really cool types of equipment that we've got. So in a minute we will come back to start the Kim's game. See you then.